here. Vaishnavi, of course, is the host, and I guess I don't see anybody else right now.
Who's the person from Halifax, Maharaj?
His name is Ambarish.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, Prabhu, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Please accept my obeisances, Jai Prabhupada.
And we also have
Yes, my obeisances too.
treasurer here in Halifax, and you can show your
Hare
handsome.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances, always to Jai Prabhupada.
Hari bol, Hari bol. This is a nice active group. We've gone through the entire Bhagavad Gita. Now we're back at square one.
Wow.
Yeah. We started during COVID, and yeah, we went through it all. Nice. And we all agreed we're going to do it again. Why not?
Why not?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Who else do we have here? Can we spot the rest of the devotees here? Yeah. So
Vasanta and Vasanta and Dhanraj, they are here. Sankalpa is here.
yeah, Dhanraj, we know about the Sankalpa. Okay, nice. Vasanta, she's from Florida, there, Alachua, and we also have Rabindra Swarup.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
11 o'clock his time at night, and just outside of Amsterdam. And by the way, we're coming to you in less than a week. I can't believe it. I just want to ask you quickly, does Amazon operate up there?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes.
Is there any way to find out? Like, I thought to bring some books, but maybe it makes more sense to order some books.
I will check it here, Maharaj. Amazon.nl if it's available here.
Okay, and to see if the Saffron Path and the poems, Walking Monk poems, 1 and 2, if they're available. Yeah, if you could let me know. And
The Saffron Path is there, Maharaj. I can see
okay,
it. And the poems I will check.
the Walking Monk, yes. Yeah, and then I think we can order. We're not into so much, making a big profit. We just want to make the books available. Because if we're doing these home programs, it's just nice to have them right there.
It's
And what
available, the poems. So
Okay, that's good. That's good. And I could bring I have some children's books, the Walking Monk, kids' books. I think I have a box left there with me, and I could bring them over. What I found kind of works out. If it's an Indian crowd, then I found what works out here. I want to give you a gift. It's my birthday. I want to give you a gift all. And then they reciprocate, you get enough to pay for the amount. So you can discuss that amongst yourselves over there, Ravinder Sarup, okay? Yeah, to see the best way to do that. Okay, we've got Shakti Devidasi. She's from Waterdown, which is near Hamilton, Ontario. She's a very enthusiastic person, as you can see. We have Navayovana Dasi. She's from Scarborough. And I'm saying this, most of you got to know Yugal Kishore by now, right? He's up there right next to me on the top. And he lives in Florida, but half of his heart is in Canada. All right. And we have Sankalpa. She's sort of roaming around there. She's also in Florida, same community as Yugala. And that's it. I'm sure we're going to encounter a few more devotees, like from Hawaii and stuff like that. Okay, I think we should get started. Haribol to everyone. Let's get on to our invocational mantras, praising Prabhupada, the Panchatattva, the Mahamantra, and then we'll go to page 1, the invocational or introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, page 1. Okay, great. So together we can get Nama Om, Vishnu Padaya,
Shripada Krishna
Srimate
Srimati
Bhaktivedanta
Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine
Namaste
Namaste
Saraswati
Saraswati
Devi
Devi
Gauravani
Gauravani
Prachari
Pracharine
Nirvishesha
Nirvishesha Sunyavadi
Bhakti
Ashruti Satarine
Sri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Sri Advaita Gadadhar
Sri
Sivasadi
Vasadi Gaura Bhakta
Hare
Vrinda
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Hare.
Thank you very much. Now we'll go to this our mantra that we chant regularly. Om Jnana Timarandasya
Nandasya Punyatmanasya Jnananjana
Jnanandana Shalakaya
Shalakaya
Jnananjana Shalakaya
Shalakaya Shakshramunmilitamena Tasmai
Do
Shri
you mind,
Gurave Namaha.
Haripad, do you mind if I just take the lead on that one, okay?
Sorry,
All right.
Maharaj, yeah, sorry.
Tutor, I know you're enthusiastic, sometimes a little too much, okay? Tutor Militanyena
Chakshur
Shakshramunmilitamena
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
I was born in the darkest ignorance.
Born in the darkest
Born
ignorance.
in the
My
darkness
spiritual master
ignorance.
opened my eyes
And my spiritual master
And my
opened my
spiritual
eyes
master opened my
with the torch of knowledge.
with the torch
with
of
the
knowledge.
torch of knowledge.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
I offer my
For
respectful
my respectful
obeisances unto
obeisances unto
him.
him.
Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Thank you very much. Our very kind host, Vaishnavi, is going to let us know what is the verse that we're on today. This looks like we got it right there at 131. I think it's pretty clear just to follow that right there. Easier. Okay. Nacha Shreyonu Pasyami Hatva Swajanam Ahave Nagangshe Vijayam Krishna Nacharajan Sukanicha. Translation. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. Okay, purport. Let's line up people, queue them up. Vaishnavi, we have room for. Let's line it up just nice and slow and clear. We can give your lineup, everyone, just 2 sentences.
Okay.
Better than-
Dhanraj, how many do you think we need, Maharaj?
Well, let's just try for 8 people.
Wow. Okay.
If we run out, too bad for them.
Dhanraj, Haripad, Navayavana Dasi, Ravindra Swarup, Sankalpa, Sandamani, Shakti Devi. Is that 8? Vasanta.
Nice. Okay.
Purport. Without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationships, hoping to be happy in such situations. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the causes of material happiness.
Thank you.
Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral codes for a Kshatriya. It is said that 2 kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal orders, and the person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe, which is so powerful and dazzling.
Thank you.
Arjuna is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight, just as a person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to cook.
Mhm.
He has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence, because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation.
Okay.
But Arjuna has no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do.
Next.
Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a secluded life of frustration.
Okay, great. And do we have what, one or two people left?
Yes, I'm left. I'm after Ravindra Swarup Prabhu.
Okay. Would you like to do the Sanskrit? And then if there's somebody left, they can do the English once again.
Vasanta, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Kim no Rachina Govinda, Kim Bogai Ji Jibitinava, Yesham Ate.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're just going back to the verse itself, 31. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're just repeating the verse once again.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, because
Okay, so
our heads are so dull, we're so contaminated.
yeah,
You know, sometimes I have to hear it twice. Give us
yes. Nacha Shreya Nupasyami Hatvasva Gyanam Ahave Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna Nacha Nachyam Sukhanicha.
good, thank you. And one more person, right?
Translation. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Translation. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody, all the readers and all the listeners. So we'll get on with the show here. As you know, especially in the early part of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is referenced by different names. Last week, we heard that he's Keshava, which has different definitions. One is long black, wavy hair. The other one, killer of the Keshi demon. Now we're seeing the direct name Krishna, which is quite rare in the Bhagavad Gita because it's mostly Bhagawan. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Isn't that interesting? So that's what you're going to get in the early sections of the Gita. You'll see different names which are appealing to Krishna by Arjuna. And Arjuna is also addressed with different names, Kauntiya, Sayan Bharat, Gurikesh, Bahu, what is that? Bahu, the arms, man of many strong arms. It's a
Mahabahu.
Mahabahu.
yeah, so many exactly. Thank you. Many arms, having the strength of many arms. Like we said before, if it was an Anglo version, would that be Mr. Armstrong? Conquer the moon. Okay, so this is great stuff. And Arjun's breaking down. Last two sessions, we talked about the symptoms of a person who's in a weakened condition, and finally it comes down to the point I can't stand here anymore. I have to sit down. I have to lie down even. The last time I came to Halifax, I had we were at a famous tourist attraction. It's called Peggy's Cove, and it was a hot moment, and the air was kind of still, and I had my compression socks on, which made me hot. And I made a sudden turn, and I got this vertigo experience. So This is not the first time, but our dear devotee Vidyapati took me in the van. And just saying this, that I was felt very weak and I had to have fresh air. I had to lie down outside, and it's no fun when you get vertigo. So Arjun was in that state. His mind was reeling on the mental platform. He was very upset, you know. He was didn't have the guts to stand up. And he's kind of forgetting his purpose. He admits it. I've lost my sense of purpose. I don't understand what I'm doing here. And prior to that, his body's trembling, his hair standing on end. My bow is slipping from my hand. In other words, weakness. Usually, we know Chatri is to take a good grip. And he's feeling like a drying sensation. Skin is burning. Things that would generate our empathy towards. But now it's coming to the point. I just don't see what benefits are here. It's like a millennial person saying, "What do I get out of this? What's my benefit?" You know, right? They talk like that. What am I going to get out of this? Well, how about try some service? Humility, make some friends. Don't go too fast. Slow down a little bit with your mind. Arjun was just at that point where I don't get it. And if it's all for, I don't see how happiness will come my way. I don't see any victory in all of this. Um, and I don't see a real kingdom that's justified. So we can feel very much for him. Okay. And so that's what he's a man with a broken back, you can say, And so what broke him is his illusions. He was staying with moral codes. And Krishna was trying to tell him, or Krishna will as yet to say, that there's a higher level that we have to consider. And Srila Prabhupada does give some interesting examples of the higher codes that we need to follow sometimes. Okay. Well, just what did he say? The examples, Sanatan Goswami. He was telling the jailkeeper when Sanatan was put in prison by Hussein Shah, tell your master that you opened the door for me to deal with the call of nature. And then that I gave up my life. I jumped into the river. And so I was a dead man. So tell him that. And of course, the jailkeeper was okay because some gold exchange happened. Say, you did that. I have some gold here that I will give to you. But somebody might say, oh, this is a lie. This is a lie. Why would a saintly person come along and break the codes of what we consider normal? People should not lie, especially if you're a sadhu, some kind of sadhu. They were coming together and reading the Bhagavatam, and then he was lying even to Hussein Shah. Said, "Tell him I'm not well today," but secretly he was sitting down in a circle with a group of Brahmins, and they were discussing the Bhagavatam. So lie number 1 and then lie number 2. So it's justified for the higher purpose that Sanatana Goswami just wanted to go and see his Lord. And we have some other examples of this where you break one code because you're jumping for a higher one. And Ashwatthama is dead. Did we not discuss that last week? Krishna was, said, we know that he made a commitment. I'm not going to take up any arms against Duryodhan and company. I'm with Arjun, and my 1 million infantrymen can be with Duryodhana. Now, you can have me or you can have them. That was the choice that was given to Arjuna and Duryodhana. Of course, Duryodhana didn't have much of a choice. Arjuna just grabbed and right away said, I'll take you, Krishna. And unarmed, I'll take you the way you are. I just need you. And then Krishna made that strong commitment policy, if you will, and then the battle went on, and then the Lord was simply saying, well, when he saw that Arjuna was at a disadvantage, meaning Bhishma was ready to release an arrow on him, Krishna said, I can't let this happen to my devotee, my dear devotee. So he took a wheel, that just a handy wheel, not his chakra, but a wheel, and he was going to hurl it at Bhishma. And then Arjuna remembered the promise by the Lord, and he just ran after him and grabbed him by the thigh and tried to stop him. And if you could just imagine that scene, in the midst of the battle, dust is flying and Krishna's crown is coming off and his hair is blowing in the wind, and it's an amazing image. And Arjuna was just reminding him, remember, you're not supposed to take up any weapons. And then, of course, the wheel was never released on Bhishma, but it was something that that Bhishma wanted to see the Lord in an angry mood. There's a lot of implications in this Leela, this pastime. It's quite beautiful. And, Krishna was ready to break the rules to engage in a higher principle. I said, I will protect my devotees. Two promises are there in the story, right? But the higher principle was my devotees should not be in difficulty. Yeah, so this is something to consider. There's moral codes, and then there's superior codes. There's dharmic values, and there's sanatan dharmic values, right? We have to be a little careful, however, not to, just because the Lord does something, that we should break the rules. Like we've got our own rules, and we don't smoke ganja. Well, maybe some of us used to, but we don't do it now. Okay. Yet Shiva smokes ganja from time to time. We hear he does, and somebody might criticize him for it. Shiva is on another plane. He can do things and get away with it. We cannot. And so in the case of Shiva, he was able to drink poison and protect all the devotees. That is, devotees and non-devotees alike during the churning of the ocean of milk. So Krishna was, let's see, seeing that his devotee, Shiva, was trying to protect. He was taking up a higher principle. I don't know what you, Prabhus, would do, if you were in that kind of situation. Of course, if we drank poison, we'd just die. But Shiva's a transcendent being, and he's got, if you want to check him out, he's got this Nilakant, He's got this where we put our beads, and let's say he's got everything deposited there, to indicate that that's where the poison is, and it's going to stay there. Higher principles, it's very important. Generally, devotees are law-abiding people who don't break the rules. But I can remember going on, when I was just a young person, a brahmachari, going on the subway, because we heard devotees in New York were doing this. We were not supposed to, but we get on the subway and we were about make an announcement, and we'd have a can and then just go around and people, So we were not supposed to do that in the TTC, Toronto Transit System, but we did it because we felt This is the most important thing to do. So we broke rules. I went to jail because, and everybody did it in those days in North America, especially in the States. We were distributing books without a permit. So for that, I went to jail. And now I'm suffering from it because I was applying for Nexus status. And have you ever been arrested? And I did think about, oh yeah, there was this time 50 years ago. 50 years ago. And so now they got it. The last few times I flew, they over from say Toronto, they asked, "You've got something here from the past," and the lady was looking, and she kept reading. I think we got a lot of splash in the news because when I walked across Canada, said you. She goes on her screen. She wouldn't let me see it. The lady at the customs. You've got you've got you go by a different name, do you? I said yes, that's right. And it was time for me to to go on the flight, so they hurried me on. But I was very. They held me, and they hold that against me that I had broken a rule, and that is to distribute religious books without a permit. And by the way, I'll tell you a little bit more. Then Yugal Kishore had his hand up. I know. It went to court, and there was two other devotees. I just got dropped off by my Sankirtan leader. Didn't even have a chance to distribute a book, and the police came and put us in the what do you call the clinkers? And stayed there overnight, and it went to court, and the judge just threw it out. Why are they bringing these young men in here? This is not a criminal. This is not a big crime. Why are we wasting our time here? Says, let them go. So, so I was charged, but I wasn't really didn't really spend quality time in the prison. But now I look back at it and I have a story to tell. It's so much fun to be like a devotee from the early days when we took all kinds of risks. So, anyways, our highest principle was to go wherever and try to save the conditioned souls and plant seeds of bhakti. Yeah, good. So, on that theme, that topic, or anything here for that matter, I'll just ask Yugal Kishore if he would like to contribute something, and then we'll open it up for discussions amongst you, Prabhus, discussion or questions.
Well, Maharaj, it's a very good point of this moral codes. There's a hierarchy of moral codes. In the Varnashram, we all have, Prabhupada makes a lot of emphasis on the quality of leadership, especially by the Kshatriyas in chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. But he also talks about the quality of leadership of Brahmanas. Now, you brought up a good point about lying. And so there is in the English world that we call a white lie. Like a white is good. So, and it so happens that just when my grandmother passed away late last year, we had to tell her sister that everything was fine because her sister had a medical condition and she passed away anyway just recently. But so, yeah, the white lies, that's what Krishna was asking Yudhishthira to lie about Ashwatthama, the elephant, right? It's a white lie for a higher purpose. But I was wondering that from the early days in ISKCON, I joined ISKCON in 77, late 77, and the devotees were actually denigrating morality to some extent. I kind of found it, back in the day when devotees were still young, but you also brought up a balancing point of we cannot imitate Krishna when he's lying about lying things and we can do it under the direct command of Krishna, like in the case of Yudhishthira, but he didn't do it. But otherwise, we're kind of bound to sustain some kind of level of morality, don't you think? Because I mean, I had seen devotees over the years under the pretext that morality doesn't matter. They throw it out the window altogether. But they get into really tricky situations because they do not honor some basic morality. So I was just wondering, the balancing of the two concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And like Prabhupada said, here in the Gita, under the direct command of Krishna, yeah, you can do whatever Krishna tells us. But when Krishna is not speaking to us, when the moral choice is up to us, then we have to reconsider the imitation thing, because it's a dangerous thing to imitate Krishna in any way, shape, or form. That's all I had to say, Maharaj.
Okay, let's go back a few decades, almost 90, 80 years ago. Let's say the Nazis are coming, and you're
Right.
you're holding some nice Jewish people there in your home, hiding somewhere, and the Nazis are coming and questioning you, and what are you going to do? What are you going to say? Are you going to tell a fib? You have been keeping them, and we got devotees from Amsterdam here. They all know the story of Anne Frank, and the family.
Right.
Touching. What are you going to do? Are you going to lie about it and maybe they'll dismiss it and just take off? Or are you going to tell the truth? I'm going to be a good boy. What are you going to do? So the thing is, if they find out they do go around and you find out that you lied, then you'll be in trouble too. So, what are you going to say? We have Sakti Devi Dasi, who's from a Jewish background. You could tell us the answer.
I mean, I think that yes, you are lying to the Nazis, but you're also doing a service. You're saving lives. People are there, and they're killing people just because they're Jewish. So you're saving the lives maybe of an entire family by lying to people that are just killing for sport. So that would be my kind of. I think I look at it as a service. You're saving lives, or it would simply be the same thing as if I was, I don't know, walking with you, and then, I don't know, you said, I'm going to go in here and grab a bagel or whatever. I don't know why bagel came up, and I said, okay. And then someone comes up to me and says, where's that guy you were with? I'm like, who? The monk or the guy wearing the yellow. I'm like, I don't know. He went away. Like, obviously they're coming looking for you for I don't know what, but looking with bad intentions. I would take the hit for that. I would. I think it's, and I'm using that very small. It's not like it's not obvious, but it's a small little thing to say. I would save your life and put mine in danger because you're my guru, you're my guy. You're Maharaj. I think it's a service. When someone's killing for sport. I mean, that's a very big line, right? There's another line where they say, okay, well, your friends are smoking pot, and they're like, oh, come on. Then what are you going to do? You're going to say, I don't smoke pot. That's where you have to, right? That's a harder line, maybe for a younger kid.
Thank you for your contribution. It's good. Yeah, where we're going with this is there a balance here? So I think you've addressed it. So anybody else who wants to give some thought to this? Can you imagine some situations or somebody says they're having an affair and the guy's having an affair, and the wife asks, "Are you with such and such?"
Maharaj, I have an incident that my grandmother told me. Um, it was a war time, and during that time, it was a lot of religious war going on. So I think she was very young, and then she saw, a soldier. She saw, a person. His neck is cut, and he's bleeding, and he's asking for water. And then and they were told that you're not supposed to be giving any help to nobody. Close the door. So she was she couldn't see that person suffering, so she grabbed and she pulled that person inside the house. She gave water, and of course, the community had objected that they should not be doing it. But then she always told me that when you do things for a good cause, there is always blessings coming to you. So I still remember that incident.
Wow, nice example. Love it. Anybody else have some thoughts on this? The
Hare
support.
Krishna Maharaj and Hare Krishna devotees. I have a question, Maharaj, for you. I think this Bhagavad Gita, this chapter 1 situation is very relevant today. I think it appears to me that the whole Western world is being threatened by a demoniac person called Putin, and Russian leader. And instead of the Westerners acting like Arjuna and fighting, head on, they are actually shirking from their duty, avoiding their duty as kshatriyas. And basically, even like the President Trump, he's saying, I'm going to unleash the military on US cities. The US military's job is not to protect US citizens inside our cities, for which we have the police, and there is no such big problem. I think it looks like the whole of the Western world and is actually, that's what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts. And also, I am totally against what India is doing with respect to Russia. I know there is a political tone here, but it is very applicable, I feel, Maharaj.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give too many offer my opinion on the political scenarios like this, to be honest with you. Just like when I walked across America and I was in the state of Utah,
Mhm.
in the city of Delta, it's called. And the news reporter came to where me and two brahmacharis were just relaxing for the afternoon. We had put in a lot of hours of walking. And she asked me all kinds of questions, this journalist.
Mhm.
And then, why I'm walking, the standard questions. And then she put her little notebook, to the side, her little notepad to the side, said, so tell me, she knew I was from Canada. What do you think about our president, Mr. Donald Trump? Okay. And this was not going to go into the report in the newspaper or anything like that. But I just tried to stick to a higher principle. I told her I'm not going to give any opinion right now. All I know is that we stand for the principles of what is taught in the Bhagavad Gita.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of information there about good leadership, And if a political leader of the current times can take some inspiration and guidance from that book, then we consider that that would be a very positive thing, beneficial. So I didn't really, I don't think I skirted around the issue. I wasn't I was trying to avoid it, but I was just offering something for her to think. I was encouraging her to read the Bhagavad Gita. I thought that was a higher principle. That was my job. I was not going to give political opinions. Who knows where that's going to go.
Mhm.
And that was on the first term that he was there, when he was a little more holy. And I'm giving an opinion. But so I think we just stick to these values here. Krishna clearly wanted Dharma to be established, right? And he felt that he had his hand-picked man, Yudhishthira, to be the ruler of the world. Arjun was the commander in that regard, and Krishna's whole intention was to do what was good for the world. Yeah. And so that higher principle was there. Then Krishna says, follow your Dharma, Arjuna. But then he brought Arjuna to a higher level. Okay, great. Now you're sold on the idea. Now, can you just forget about what I just said? Sarvadharman Parityajam Amaikangsara. He brought him to another level. Let's just surrender. Forget about rules here. Let's just do what needs to be done. You're a Kshatriya, of course, yes. But I'm telling you, you have to do this now. So that's it. Highest principles to follow God. Hare Krishna. Yugalakishore, are we going somewhere in a good direction? Did we answer your
No, I
question?
think it's very well thought out. I mean, to one extent, the chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, it is a political scenario. It starts with it starts with really a dharmic focus on how to administer a kingdom. I mean, that's politics. But like you said, Krishna is Krishna, so he expertly moved the understanding to a higher level of consciousness. Because remember, the background to the whole story of the Mahabharata is that Krishna was asked by the demigod, by Bhumi Devi herself, to come and fix these problems. So Krishna came, I would put it this way, the unlimited comes to the limited space of history, human society, to fix the problem. So it is hard for people to understand how the unlimited God can come into human history and basically get involved. He took Krishna gave them a choice, like you were saying, Duryodhana and Arjun, pick my army or pick me. So Prabhupada even said that from the strategic military calculation, Duryodhana did the right thing. He picked up all the weapons and all the soldiers, but then he forgot that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's the higher purpose that you've been talking about. And I think that's what we got to take. I mean, in terms of today's situation in the world, I mean, it's bad because most of these leaders are not devotees. I mean, they have some humanity, but when it comes to politics, people are going to go after, they're going to put humanity aside. And so it is not, Prabhupada said the only solution that we can offer to the world is to spread Krishna consciousness. And so the Kshatriyas can benefit, because Kshatriyas, I mean, political leaders, they hold power. They hold power of life and death, and people are dying because of that. So it is a reality that is stark in front of us. And, it's getting worse by the day. It's Kali Yuga after all. And things are not going to get fixed simply by moral codes like you're talking about. There has to be a higher perspective, and that higher perspective is ourselves. We ourselves in ISKCON have to become exemplary individuals, that we lead this philosophy we're talking about every day. People will see the change of the heart. I mean, people will follow those who are pure-hearted, just like Prabhupada. When Prabhupada came, and historically he should have not been successful, because the hippies were all young people who didn't like older people. And yet Prabhupada's very present, because he was the personification of everything he was talking about, made an impact on all these skeptics and atheists and drug addicts, and look what it did. Imagine if we have 100,000 Prabhupads all over the earth. I mean, one Prabhupada, look at what Prabhupada did. What about 2 Prabhupads, you know? 1 Prabhupada for each continent. It would have been wonderful.
Yeah, just to summarize, and I agree with you 100%. The best, being that the world is very challenged at this time. I've never seen such incredible racist elements before, so much hate and struggle like never before, at least in my lifetime. The best thing we can do to respond to all of this is to spread Krishna consciousness and give people an option. You know, right now there's so much polarization. We welcome other devotees with their comments and their questions on the topic. Just think again, you're Arjun, you're in his shoes or sandals, whatever he's wearing at the time. And just what do you think? What would you do? You know, where would you go with this? Okay. Anybody else have any? I have 2 devotees here, or who might like to offer some remarks here. Well, there's a certain parts of the purport that we did not necessarily cover, but we can. We could certainly do that. What is? Sure.
Here, Prabhupada is saying that if someone follows Krishna's instructions right on the battlefield, they qualify for a sun planet. But isn't it a devotional service? So why just to keep that soul in only qualified for a sun planet? Why Prabhupada is
bringing this point up? It's definitely like a trophy award for anyone who dies on the battlefield for a higher cause. But we understand that if you die for Krishna, you'll go to Vaikuntha. But this is just the least that you can achieve. So that was the let's say an accomplishment for a Kshatriya. That was like a standard like win for a Kshatriya. But of course, if you fight on behalf of Krishna, you'll achieve much more. But it's just a benchmark. I think that's a benchmark for Kshatriyas. Good. Yeah, but thank you for looking at the rest of the purport. Anybody else has anything they want to say or questions on this? We haven't heard from everyone just yet. Vasanta, okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I was going to say, what I saw in India in the 80s was so much more scary than anything I've seen here. We had terrorism, and my mother used to say until she sees us in the evening, she never believed that any of us are still alive because there were bombs everywhere, in the marketplace. I remember I was in a very crowded bus, and then suddenly the bus got stopped and the policeman said, "There's a bomb in the bus." And then, Delhi, this is in Delhi. And Delhi buses behind the seat, it always used to say, they would be written saying that, "Please check under your seat." So we would never sit on any seat without checking, park benches. Would never stop going to theaters because of bombing. And I remember there was a bomb right in front of our building. We were in a different building and we thought it was an earthquake came running down, and we found out there was a bomb in Citibank on the 2nd floor of that building. And we saw, pieces of limbs, and it was, and then 1984, when the PM got assassinated, and the whole day we were told not to step outside our office. We knew the PM has been assassinated by 9 o'clock. We knew, yet we were told not to get out, and we knew the whole city was revving up for a riot. And so they were not letting us out. And then we got into this was, Sikhs against everybody. That's what was going on. I mean, they used to We didn't even have a stick, but they had guns. So they would come shoot everybody. In fact, they shot 55 people in a place called Chittaranjan Park. It was Bengalis used to live there. And one of my colleagues died in that. He got shot. And next day, we found out he is not there. He was dead. And then 1984, we had this assassination, Sikh bodyguard assassinated PM, and we were told not to get out. And then that evening at 5 o'clock at the end of the day, we took the bus, and the bus was driven by a young Sirdar. And we said he was like 20 years old, and we said, don't go by that hospital where she was admitted and died, because he had to pick up people. This is contract bus we used to. And he wouldn't listen to us. We were all shouting, saying, don't go by there. There's going to be a riot there. But he went and picked up everybody, and he literally didn't stop. He picked up people and made a U-turn. And, because he was doing his duty, even at the face of such danger, because we were already, the riots had started, and, everything was getting burned, people were getting killed. We saw all that, scooter, as they say, fatfati, those were all setting fire on. And we thought our bus is going to be set on fire, and we were, praying. But we went back home. Finally, that guy was very bold, very brave, and very dutiful. He said, how can I abandon those people in front of the people in the hospital
Yeah,
whom
so you're giving some
he
example
commanded?
of somebody
Yeah,
who inspired you, right?
yes. And then
Very
we went
clever.
back home, and there was a big bunch of people. It was nightfall almost. Big bunch of people who were saying they had list of people where the Sikhs, every house, government had already provided them, because it was government which was doing that. And then there was a Sikh family below where we lived in our building, and they said, out them, they said, bring them out, we want to kill them. And then we all got together and lied and said, no, because there's no Sikh family. The Sikh family has left already. They have gone to the village. Actually, they were with us, but we thought that's the only way to save them. It went on for half an hour. Those guys kept saying, you guys are lying. We are coming into the building and all. And then,
Yeah, so some of us have gone through incredible nightmares in this life. I
yeah,
guess one thing we can conclude is that, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, this material world is no place for a gentleman. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's also mention in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that this material world is likened to a hole into where people pass stool.
I mean, even Calcutta, I was as a young person, I was in Calcutta till I was 10. And I remember in 67, there
Yes,
was,
I just want to say that's good what you're saying, and I just want to be a little fair and let everyone else have a little, a minute or two as well. But I just want to conclude there are horrible stories out there that can make you cringe, just thinking about these situations. And when the devotees were talking about a third world war, that it was possible during Prabhupada's time. They're wondering what should we do. Of course, there was some talk about let's go to the countryside where it's going to be a little safer and so on like that. But Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna. Is there any
yeah,
difficulty? He wanted us to concentrate on our spiritual life because even if it's a peaceful scenario in the world, you never know when a truck is going to hit you, when you're trying to cross the street. Or some maniac, you're going to a festival, some maniac gets behind the wheel and he just plows through all these innocent pedestrians, which has happened now, or a room full of children at the schoolyard. I still think about that. I was in Pennsylvania, some Mennonite kids, and one guy just came and just bulleted all the kids down. Just horrible scenarios. But if you have a chance during difficult times, please chant Hare Krishna. And even if there are happy times, sad times, just always have your beads with you. Let's get down to the practical matters. And because those beads and the holy name, your upper and lower lip as well as your tongue are your weapons, against the worst scenario, worst situations. Let's try to be Krishna conscious as much as possible. And as Yugala Kishore was indicated, oh my God. The table just went way up. I was going to have another vertigo attack. Okay. Stay down, you.
You look like you were floating.
Yeah, levitating or whatever. Let's just get serious about Krishna consciousness. If there are times of peace, there's no peaceful time right now. Lots of agitation, but relative peace, yes. I don't see people just shooting like randomly at this point in time. Let us be good citizens. Let's be very saintly in our behavior. Let people have an opportunity to see, maybe life is falling apart. Maybe I should go to church, or maybe I can follow those nice people across the street that always are cooking curries or whatever that, and they seem to be happy people, those Hare Krishnas. So give people an option, give them a chance. That's the thing. Get the books out there, get the prasadam out there, get the wisdom out there, the holy name, as whatever can. These are the commodities that we've been asked to distribute generously to the public, and to demonstrate love and kindness, respect. Oh, that's really important. We are let Arjun say something, and because we don't have too much time now, it's been very interesting topic naturally. So go ahead, Arjun. What would you like to say?
Well, I was gonna say Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna Devotees. I was gonna say that these bad things that are happening is a good thing, so we can wake up and try to not get so much involved in this material planet and be more focused on Krishna, because this is not our home. Prabhupada said this is not a place for gentlemen. And Krishna says whether in happiness or distress, it shall pass. So it's a temporary thing too.
Right. Good point. Yeah. Krishna does say Dukale Shashvatam. This is a place which is temporary and it's full of miseries. So I think the idea is get out. I always think about Vidura telling his older brother Dhritarashtra, who's kind of enjoying the life in the palace, and he just said, "Get out, get out. It's time to go. Your days are numbered. Get out." Okay, our days are numbered. Let's get out. Get out of this material world and do whatever it takes. So that means to get serious about our sadhana and our Krishna consciousness. Usually we do takeaways, but I think we're limited right now because it's almost 7 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock for some of you, and it's midnight, when people turn into a pumpkin or something like that, for those who are in from Europe. Guru Das, I don't know about you. What
Noon.
time for you?
It's noon. It's
Noon.
12 noon. Yeah.
Wait, you're so behind.
Way behind you guys.
We'll all get together next week. We'll see what happens. Next week is means the 8th, right? Is that correct? Did I get my math?
Ninth.
Ninth, yeah.
Okay, we'll be starting our walk in Europe. I'm sure we'll just try to get together on the and whether we're walking or not, just try to have this class as usual. Okay. Thank
Maharaj,
you.
Maharaj,
Yes.
can I have Maharaj? Sorry to bring this up. Can I have a quick word with you on this? Just I won't take more than 30 seconds.
Okay, sure. You have the floor.
I think he.
No, after the class, Maharaj.
Yeah.
The class, you want to talk to me? Okay.
Yeah, very quick, please.
Yeah, no problem. Prabhu, thank you very much. Anantashesh,
Thank you, Maharaj.
since you are the life partner of our host, we have to give Elind you our ear. Go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, 1 minute, Maharaj. He will, I mean, it's hard for him to unmute.
Okay.
Happy appearance day in advance, Maharaj.
Maharaj, Hare Krishna, I just want to wish you an early birthday.
Well, thank you so much, Jai Jai. Yeah, for those who we are going to have we've had a few little minor parties, and we'll have another one on the 5th of October. And thank you. You're all welcome to come to the party.
Thank
even
you.
if you're far away. If there's some prasadam, I'll just show it to you, and you can try to eat through your eyes if you can. The birthday cake. Thank you very much. Yeah, Madhukar, sure. Just you can call me on my phone, okay? My regular phone.
Oh, I don't have your regular phone number. Okay, I'll call on that. Okay, Maharaj.
647-530-4373.
4373. Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Jai, Haribol, everyone.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Happy birthday. Happy Vyasa Puja. Hare Krishna.
Happy Vyasa Puja.
Happy birthday, Maharaj.
Happy
Krishna.
birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday, Maharaj.
Everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
devotees. Stay safe.
Doing
Okay.
Stay safe, everybody.